Are they on? I know we had a birthday person. They mentioned it. Maybe they're already out partying. And so I want to thank everybody. We had an incredible participation. Only two people did participate yesterday and missed out on attendance. So that is incredible. So give yourselves a round of applause. And that every day, just so you know, your DOEs at each campus, they go through that attendance report and check to see who does and who does not participate. This class is observed heavily. The reason being is because they know everybody is going to be heading out, and this is one class that is not only watched by me, but watched by the DOEs and watched by all the organizations that certify the school. So this class is heavily watched. So as I grade, everybody watches my grading. So everything you do is checked and rechecked over and over. So that's not to make you paranoid, but it's to let you know why this class is so important. Because when you leave here, we want to make sure you have all the tools to be a success. So that's what this class is about. So everything in here is designed to do just that. So how many people have seen all these things advertised, usually at hotels and that, where they're going to teach you how to do this, how to blah, blah, blah. They promote you. They're going to encourage you. They're going to give you the skills to do this. And they're like $1,500, $2,000, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to make sure that they lift you up and give you everything you need. Have you seen these things? You know, people pay a lot of these things for life coaching and career coaching and all that. You see them advertised all the time, and they show the conventions, and there's thousands of people that go to these things. Orlando has tons of them, Tampa has tons of them. That's the same information you're getting in this class. These people pay a lot of money to do the same thing. So those are the things that happen in this class. Now, yesterday I asked you to list your strongest points and your weakest points. And like normal, everybody's strongest points are incredible. I want you to know that everybody's strongest points are incredible. And one of the biggest things, and see if this hits home, is the confidence and communication. Want to be able to speak effectively to people um, as clients. You know, when you're talking to clients, you want to be able to come out and be able to talk and feel like you are communicating effectively, and you want to have that confidence in that. And I'm not going to ask for a show of hands in that because I know that's can be a touchy thing in that. In animal care, especially, a lot of people don't realize that in animal care, it's just as much of a people career as it is an animal career. A lot of people go into animal care because they don't want to deal with people, but if you're in a veterinary situation, especially, you have to deal with that client as much as the animal because that person there has to speak for the animal when they bring them in a lot of times. And a lot of times, I'll tell you, they don't tell you the truth. Case in point, uh, we would frequently get people's dogs in with them, and we're pretty sure that the dog ate the person's pot stash. Okay? Told you I'm upfront and honest. And we're pretty much sure that they ate the person's pot. And we're in the room with the person, and the doctor leaves, and it's up to the vet assistant to talk to the person. And we're like, look, we want you to be honest. Did your dog eat your pot? And of course, they're real reluctant to tell us. And I was like, look, we're not calling cops. We don't care about that. But this makes a difference between if your dog lives or not, because we need to know how to treat your dog. That's all the doctor wants to know. Did it eat your pot? And they will deny it, deny it, deny it. And typically, there will be one or two men in there and a woman. So we leave, we tell the doctor, nope, they said it doesn't. So the doctor's trying to figure things out We go back to our desk. Never fails. They always send the woman out. Always. Never the man, always the woman. The woman comes out. Yes, the dog ate our pot. Perfect. That's what we need to know. Now we know what we can treat, blah, blah, blah. So this is very much a people thing. You have to get people to trust you. You have to get people to talk to you. Electricians, HVAC, you're going to be facing clients. You're going to be going and you're going to be talking to them on a regular. So one thing I want you to start to get used to is being able to talk to them and hear them. One of the key things in communicating. Jenna, I see your hand up. Do you have a question? I know you're going into veterinary. I see you have.
I don't know if it's my phone, but it's hard to hear you.
Okay, is anybody else having problems hearing? No, everybody else here okay?
Yes.
Okay, you can all hear okay? All right.
Yep.
Okay, so it might be your phone, Jenna. Sometimes if you log out, log back in, you might get a better connection.
Okay.
Okay? So, effective listening. One of the things you can do is when you're communicating with people, when they tell you something as you're talking back with them, is make sure you kind of repeat back what they say. So when they say, this is the situation, say, so what you're telling me is this is what's going on. So what that does is, number one, it tells them, I hear what you're saying, and this is what I'm getting at, and this is what I'm going to do. Has anybody worked in a restaurant? I worked at a Denny's. I told you this. Anybody ever worked at a restaurant?
I
Okay.
have.
Okay. So you know when you repeat the order back to the people, that's kind of what you do. That communication back lets them know you hear them, you acknowledge them. That's a
Yeah,
key thing.
acknowledgement.
Yeah, okay. And a lot of times, this is really important because they will tell you one thing, and then when you repeat that exact same thing back, they'll go, oh no, that's not what I said. When in actuality it is. And you just smile because you're thinking, oh, you dummy, you just said that to me. And let them say it again and then say, okay, let me get this straight because I want to make sure I have everything correct for you. This is the situation, boom, boom, boom. That is one of the easiest ways to communicate with somebody is repeat their situation back to them. That gets you both on the same page. Okay. Don't ever guess what the client is saying. Okay. If you have a way of writing things down, either on an electronic device or on paper, show them. So what I've written down here is this is what's going on. There's a reason for this because this lets them see exactly what you're going to do. Okay? If possible, have them initial it. Do you see where I'm getting at for effective communication? Showing the conversation back and forth. This is a way of communicating with people. Okay? Now, let's talk about the way we speak to people. Okay? Now, I can tell you, I love F-bombs. Anybody else love F-bombs? I have a whole arsenal of F-bombs. I drop them boom, 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 boom. I use F-bombs more than people use salt. I love
I
my
used to.
F-bombs. It's just a thing. It's like a regular word to me. Boom, 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 boom. I can't do that at work, okay? We need to clean up our language. Slang, okay? I grew up in a project, okay? I like old school hip hop. When I say old school hip hop, I'm talking Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and the Sugar Hill Gang, Houdini. I go way back, okay? I like really old school stuff, you know, Two Live Crew, etc. I know, I look the type, don't I? Then I went into punk rock. I love my punk rock. I love my Husker Du and everything from the Sex Pistols, the Dead Kennedys, etc. I love my music, and it comes along with all kinds of slang and things. Again, I can't use. You can still keep your honest, true self, but you have different personas for different areas. When you're on the job, the slang stops when you're facing clients. Okay? Everybody got that. Okay? You can't say "aight." Okay? You can't
I
do that. Okay? You got to clean that slang up. And here's the part where you got to be very careful. When you're an electrician, when you're HVAC, when you're in these situations, when you're in the client homes have cameras nowadays. Okay? They have microphones. Even if that person's not in the same room as you, keep everything clean and never, ever, ever say anything about the client. Okay? Please, please, please. Because you'll be working along thinking everything's great and you'll get a call from your supervisor. I need you to leave the house. And you'll be like, why? And they'll say, I need you to leave the house now. And you will get called out of that house and you'll be going back, and that will be your last day. Honest truth. Don't let that happen. You will be surprised where cameras and microphones are in people's homes nowadays. When you go to a client house, just assume there is a camera and a microphone picking everything up everywhere. Everybody got that? Yes, yes. So keep everything above bar. If somebody else is talking trash, talking smack there, let them do it. Say, I think we need to get back to work. Be the wet blanket. Let them think you're no fun. In a client situation, don't do it. Okay? Remember, that other person never pays your bills. You are your own business, and businesses have reputations. Protect yours. You are your own brand. Everybody knows Ferrari. Everybody knows Gucci. Everybody knows all those top brands. You are your own brand and you protect it at all costs. Because if you get one bad review, that one bad review tells 100 people. You get a good review, they tell 2 or 3 people. Protect yourself at all times. So that's part of the ways you can start presenting yourself. And it starts now with the current job you're on. Now, in the shop, everyone knows that in the shops and in the labs and behind the scenes, everything's different, right? We talk different in the shops. We talk different in the labs. Behind the scenes in animal care, you think the shops are bad? Go into animal care. You haven't heard anything yet. It's as vulgar gets. Okay? Everyone knows it sounds different till a client comes in. Soon as a client comes in backstage where you guys are working, you need to be client facing again. You need to be able to turn that switch. Okay. So practice being able to turn that switch on and off. Okay. Learn how to differentiate proper and improper speech at different times. And if somebody goes, oh, what, you're too good for me? If someone is talking to you like that, then you say, well, then maybe I am because a friend would not talk to me like that. I want you to think about that. Anybody who is telling you things like that, they're distancing you from them. Notice that the person who is always on the defense, stop and think, what is wrong with you? I'm not putting you down. Why are you always putting me down every time I want to better myself? I want y'all to think about that. Ever notice that? The person that is always saying this, it's always because you're bettering yourself. You're never dissing them, but they're dissing you because you're bettering yourself. They walk around with this chip on your shoulder. Okay. And that's the other thing. How many people wear your emotions on your sleeves? Anybody do this? You got this expression that they can easily tell what's going on, that everybody knows what's going on. Okay. You don't have to hide your emotions. You have to learn how to control those emotions. You can show disappointment. You can show happiness. You can show these things. Okay. But within reason. Okay. Now, Jenna, I know you're going into animal care and you're going to have to deal with some very, very hard emotions in that career field. Okay. I can tell you right now, having to put down a person's pet is one of the hardest things ever. You're going to be the support person for that client. And all of y'all who've never had to do this, this is one of the hardest things anybody ever has to go through because you have to be a strong person for someone you've never met. And you are their crutch, their support, and you are there and you have to be the strong person. And I can tell you this, as soon as that person walks out the door, everybody in that office goes behind the scenes and they lose it. They lose their crap. But in front of the scenes, they are the professional. So yes, you can still have your emotions on your sleeves, just not in front of the client. So you learn not to get rid of your emotions, you learn to shift them. Okay, does that make sense for everybody? You get mad in front of the client, you just hold it back and you shift it. You still retain your true selves. This is how we learn to communicate. Now, how many people play poker? Anybody ever play poker? Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of communication from some people, so I want to do a quick emoji check. Everybody out there, emoji check. I want to see emojis. I'm looking for Robert. I'm looking for Randy. I'm looking for Armando.
You want to
There
wave?
we go. Okay. Want to make sure everybody's out there. Okay, the reason why I ask about the poker is because you're looking for nuances where people are showing their emotions and things like that. That's another part of communication. If you're offending somebody, you'll see it on their faces. You'll see it in the way they stand. If you're talking to somebody and they start leaning backwards and they start crossing their arms, you're moving into a territory where you're starting to offend or annoy somebody. These are subtle things that to watch for. If you're talking to somebody and they start leaning towards you, don't move backwards. That doesn't mean that they're invading your territory. That means you've got their attention. You're reaching them. Okay, these are different communication cues that are telling you that you've got them. If they're staring at you, you've got their attention. If they start looking away, you've lost them. Start looking for these cues right now when you're talking to people. Okay. The other thing in business, it's okay to not be as emotionally attached as in personal situations. You can stay close to the facts, but you do need to have a little bit of emotion in there because you need to understand what you're saying, how it affects the other person. If you're giving them bad news, you need to understand how they're going to take it. And you can't just go, well, that's that. Okay. You need to be a little sympathetic. Here's the news. I'm sorry it has to be this way, but this is what I can do for you. These are my limits. And if they say, well, that's not good enough, then say, well, let me get somebody else who might be able to help you. Okay? Know what you can and can't do and be sympathetic in that case. Okay? And that's how you can keep from being completely cold in a business situation. All right? And so, got another bird that wants to be a little talkative. Sorry about that. So that's how you can kind of start to get that way. The other thing is don't take things personal in a business situation. It's not you. Okay? This is a business. And when people get mad at a business and you're the person that's there, they're going to take it out on you. Okay? It's not you. Don't lose it. Okay? You have nothing to gain by getting angry back at them. Nothing to gain. Just stand there and look at them. Just look at them. Let them blow their top. And then when they're finished blowing their top, just go back and state exactly what it was you have to state. They're going to lose their crap again and say, this is what I can do. This is what I can do. This is what I can do. Your motive and what you can do does not change. Everybody got that? They're going to lose their crap no matter what because they came in with a problem. Don't let them get to you. I used to have long hair. People came in and yelled at me to the point it blew off. And I simply said, now that you're finished yelling, we're back here. And da 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 da. And they yelled and they yelled and they yelled. And I said, now that you're finished, again, we're back here. Eventually, they're like, I'm going to call corporate. I'm going to do this. And then I'm like, here's their number. Here's their number. We have everything on videotape. This is the time. Ask them to review the tape. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you. Have a nice day. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They don't fire me. They don't pay me. They don't come home and make me a bad meal because they're angry at me. They don't turn off my television when I'm watching to annoy me. What are they going to do to me? So break every situation down like that. What are they going to do to you? So they're yelling at you. Big whoop. Do you see why all these situations, break them down? What is the bottom line? Does everybody understand that? So someone comes in and yells at you. What's the big deal? Boo-hoo. Words. Loud words. I turn my music up louder than that. Boo-hoo. They said mean things. Boo-hoo. And I'm still at my job. I'm still working. So what? Go ahead, get in your car, leave, get angry, drive real fast out of the parking lot, get a ticket. Oh well, what did you accomplish? But if they come in and they're nice, maybe we can reach an agreement, right? So learn to tone things down. And if somebody comes at you and they're very angry, say, if we can talk, I might be able to help you. But if you yell, I can't help you at all. And if they continue to yell, say, if you yell, I can't help you. Tone things down. Don't think things personal because if everybody's yelling, no one's listening. Does everybody see that? Does that help in the communication area? Yes. Now, if there's any questions about communication, because communication was the overwhelming area that people wanted to help with, please let me know. And I'll try to offer hints and help because this is a big thing. Practice now. Start practicing now. It doesn't matter what job you work. I've had to clean toilets. I've had to clean up messes that I don't even want to describe. And I've had every horrible job you can imagine. But I was always taught no matter what you do, you are the best at it. And you do it in the most professional way. And I want you to do that with everything you do. Be the most professional of anybody there, no matter what you do. All right? Because we're the best, right? Thumbs up, everybody. We are the best in whatever we do. Think about that. Believe in yourself. Okay? So I want to cover that more than anything today. I've got other stuff, obviously, we need to cover, but that was key because that was what you all had. And like I said, I read everything that you all do, and that was really important to me to do that. So now I'm going to share my screen here. Here we go. So we are at the end of week 1. Thursday is our Friday here. We have done all of this. Yay. I'm real excited for the people you're interviewing for your dream job thing. They sound incredible. Almost everybody has your appointment set up with Career Services to go over that resume. That is awesome. On the interview, if you put your interview responses in already, that goes in next week. This week, I just needed the names. So when this assignment comes up next week, just copy and paste that in over there and you'll get your points for that one as well. All right. So this week, I just needed the name and everything for that. So next week, just copy and paste that in there. If you have problems next week doing that, remind me and I'll help you out on that. All right. Thursday, that's today. That's where your assignment's going to go. You're going to come in here, click Start Assignment, text entry, type it in there, and click Submit Assignment. Next week, I won't be going in and showing you how to do that every day. That's going to save us a little bit of time, but I want to make sure you know. So today, we're going to be talking about keywords, okay? Keywords are words you need to have on your
Sir,
resume.
sir, I'm
Yes.
sorry to bother you. Yesterday you showed where to look for the stuff for the midterm, but I didn't really get to see it. You know what I mean? Can you show us again where to find the things that we're gonna need for the midterm?
No, never again. Not. It was a one-time offer and you missed it. Now, right here on the main menu, click this help button here. Right there's the midterm study guide. You can click that and you can view it here. Eventually, servers must be running slow. Here it comes. There we go. So everything is in here. And if you click the download right there, you can download it. It'll ask you to save it. And you can save that on a phone too. Uh, so you can do that. So you can view it on your phone. You can, if you're doing it on a computer, so you can have it on your phone and that. So you may have to scroll up and down to find the answers, but it is there. Okay, there's some other stuff on here that I'm going to show you as well that I was going to get to, but while we're here, right here, skills needed by your career. If you click on this, you'll see that there is a different link for each career. And like if I picked on electricians and clicked on here, these are different skills that it says that typically an electrician might need. And it goes through. And the reason why these are on here is because you may want to have these listed on your resume. So it's something to think about. So each career, go through here and see what it says that you should probably have. All right. So that's a great thing to take a look at, especially since you're going to be working on your resumes. The other thing right here, keywords, which is our topic for today. So if you're doing these online resumes, these online applications, how many people are doing them and you're getting no responses? I'm sure there's some of you. You're getting no responses from any of these applications you're putting online. You hear nothing from them. Anybody getting no responses from online applications? Nobody? You're all getting or responses back? Okay, some people aren't getting responses. That's typical. You hear nothing. Part of the problem could be you don't have the right keywords. So if you click on resume keywords, you'll see under electricians, all these keywords. These are words that you need to have somewhere on your resumes. HVAC, these are words you need to look to see if you have any of these on your resume. Welding, check to see if you have some of these. Vet techs or vet assistants, things like this, medical assistant. These are just some of them, okay? So what happens if you don't have those? When they run a search for people for the jobs, you don't get picked. If you're missing keywords that they're looking for, you will never get selected. It doesn't matter what type of experience you have, how incredible you are. If you're missing the keywords they're searching for, you never get selected. You never will. Absolutely zilch. Okay? The other thing is if you put in an application online on Friday, after Sunday, they will never look at it. How many people knew that? Once Saturday happens, that's the last time that application will ever be looked at. So Sunday, what needs to happen, you need to go back to that application and update it. So Monday, when they come in and they rescan for new applications, it'll get selected again. And Tuesday it'll get selected, and Wednesday it'll get selected, all the way around till Saturday. And then when Sunday comes, you need to go back in and update it again. It's called a Sunday night plan. Your applications that you put in online have to be updated every week, or they'll never get selected again. Okay, that's called a Sunday night plan. All right. So that's really important, and that's why we have you do this assignment called keywords. Okay, so what you do in here is you're going to search for 3 jobs in your career field. Okay, so you look for them, and they can all be on Indeed, they can all be in one area, whatever, but you need to find 3 jobs. Okay, and you're going to look for 3 hard skills, or you're going to look for the hard skills, not 3 of them. And you're going to look at the soft skills in 3 different postings and see which ones are common, because they're going to be looking for common things. And what I need for you to do is click Start Assignment, Text Entry. I need the web addresses. If it's all on Indeed, I need that Indeed, but I need to know the hard skills and the soft skills. Remember, those hard skills are the ones that are unique to those jobs, such as the MIG welding, the TIG welding, the installing of electrical outlets, things that are specific to that career. And then any soft skills like computer related skills, or um, something that's being able to problem solving, things like that. Those are transferable skills that go to any career. Okay, find those for 3 different job listings. Okay, does everybody understand that? And the reason why we're having you do this is because you need to be able to match those on your resume. Everybody got that? Yes? Looking for those emojis. Because if you can't find them in the job postings in real life, you're not going to be able to get them on your resumes. Okay? All right. So that's what you do there. And then the last one, please, everybody do this. Tell me why you chose the career you did. Get those 5 points for that midterm. Okay? This item here will not be available for an extension if for any reason you did not get your assignments done for the week. Okay? Everything this week has to be done by Sunday, 11:59 p.m. at the latest. They will all lock and you do not get back into them unless you have a conversation with me and explain why you weren't able to do it. All right? Okay. So let's get to getting on our show because this is another big one. Resumes. We all need resumes. I always keep my resume current. You never know what's going to happen. And here at Southern Tech, even to move from position to position, we have to apply. We have to have a resume. Even though they know us, everybody has to show on their resume why they would be able to go into any new position or be promoted. And that's like that in a lot of companies. You don't just get to move up anymore. They want to make sure why you can. So we're going to talk about resumes, keywords, sections of that resume, types of resumes, and different formats. Okay. And we're going to talk a little bit about 2 non-traditional resumes. Okay. So the basic purpose of that resume is to get your foot in the door. Okay. And it's going to convince them that you match the qualifications right there. You're matching. That's why you need to be able to read that listing and show that you equal that. Okay. Now, you don't have to match everything. Some people won't apply for jobs because they don't meet all the qualifications. Okay. You're going to love this. 80% of the men will not apply for a job if they don't match all the qualifications. 80% of the men won't. The women will, but the men won't. The women will get the jobs. The men won't because they're not applying for all the jobs that they can. You don't have to meet all the qualifications. That's kind of like a dream list. If you meet the majority of them, apply. Let them decide if they want or don't want you. And right here, it should be updated for each application. One size does not fit all. You're going to customize it. Okay. So this is why many of you took the computer class so that you can go into that doc and you can move things around. Okay. So you search for these keywords so that you can find out what they want for that position. Okay. And where do you find out about keywords? You look at different jobs that are listed, see what's going on. You need to read about your career. How many people are looking at trade journals and read up on your career to see what's current? Anybody reading what's going on currently in your career? Okay, you need to know what's trending because you might be asked about it. And if you're not staying current, why are they interested in you? They're not hiring antique techniques. They want to know what's current. Okay. You need to know what's currently going on in your career. There's a lot of trade journals. You can Google it online. You need to know what's going on current and those current words. Okay. That's what's going to be getting you hits. Okay. So you need to know what these keywords are. Okay. Because matching keywords get you the responses. Without them, you're ignored. So if you're being ignored on your applications, you know why. It's you. So let's take a look right here. Here's a job posting. Reading and interpreting blueprints and schematics. Okay, that should be on your resume. Blueprints, schematics, setting up and maintaining, selecting and installing torches, torch tips, filler rods. Look here, MIG, TIG, stick welding, welding equipment, safety, maintenance. See how you go through the listing and you're picking out key words? Does everybody see how this works? These words get you picked up. If you just put on there, I do welding, but somebody else puts MIG welding, TIG welding, stick welding, bam, 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 they got 3 hits. They're moving further up that list than you. I do blueprints and schematics, boom, boom. There's 5 hits they've got. Okay, I can install torches, I can install torch tips, filler rods. Okay, I have safety certifications. I know how to use PPE. They are killing it. This is why I said be specific. So for this, when they put here blueprints and schematic, it is the #1 thing on this job posting. If you want to work here and your blueprints and schematics is #5 on your skills, you go into your resume and you move that to the top. And you rearrange your skills to match theirs. So when they read your resume, it's in the order that they have this listed. Does everybody understand how you move your resume around to match this? So you make a copy of your original resume and you send them the copy that you move around to match this. There's not one resume for everybody. And for this one, your #1 skill is going to be blueprints and schematics. Your #2 is going to be the installing of the torches, etc., etc. So you make your resume match the job post. And I will have people go, I'm not changing it for every single one I apply to. Fine. That's up to you. How bad do you want that career? How long does it take to move something in Word? Seconds. But you don't want that. Or do you? It's up to you. You are the one in control of your destiny. Because companies use what we call an automatic tracking system software. And that's what pulls those postings and those applications and resumes. And those are how they get those keywords. And it's all automated. Okay. So a person's not going to look at it until they pull those. And if you don't do that, you're not getting pulled. And if it doesn't get pulled, you're not getting looked at. Simple. That's how it works. So resumes are broken up into these sections. And this is what they are. So your heading, that's your full name, your phone number, email address, and location. Notice this is no longer a full address. We don't put the full address for safety anymore. So if your resume has your full street address, change that. You can put like Orlando, Florida, or Tampa, Florida, etc., or Sanford, or just Florida, but not the whole street address. Okay, we don't do that anymore. So that's changed. Your summary area, okay? This is where people say I'm uh, 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 I'm a vet assistant seeking a job and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what you want to do is instead of saying seeking a job, say, I'm a vet assistant that is skilled in blah, 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 blah. They know you're seeking a job. Don't say, I'm seeking a job in this area. Say, I'm a vet assistant with the following skills, da, 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 and describes your strongest ones. Okay? We are going to do a brand statement in this class, and you'll be able to put that at the top as well. So your brand statement's going to be a single sentence that describes you. So that's going to be something you can put up there. But don't say you're seeking a job in the following area. They know that. Instead, take that time up there to briefly describe some of your strongest points. Everybody got that? So that's what that top area is going to be. Describe your strongest points. Now you see how your resume is going to be a harder hitting one. Now your skills, okay? So you're going to list hard and soft skills. They can all be intermixed, but they're going to match that job listing. And you're going to make them bulleted. Those are those little dots. And you can make them 2 columns if you've got a lot of them. And they don't all have to be related directly to the field, okay? But you want to stack them in the order that they list them in that job listing because that's what the employer wants to see, not what you want to see. You want to make them happy. And again, you want to use those keywords. You're going to hear keywords over and over. And be honest. Don't lie on your resume because you're going to get called out on it. It will catch up to you. Now, your education, okay? So if you're not a student, you list your diploma or degree first, your year, your type, etc. But if you're a student, you list the expected graduation date. You don't say student, you say expected graduation date. Okay? Notice we get rid of the word student. Instead, we have expected graduation date. Student sounds like you're discounting yourself. Okay? Never discount yourself. You're not a markdown item in a store. You are a professional. Everybody got that? So it says expected graduation date. And they're going to help you with this in that meeting that you're going to have in career services. Now, your experience. This is got some differences if you've had a resume in the past, in that you're going to have the company and the city and state. You don't need their exact address, just the city and state. The start and end dates, and any keywords that show things that you did in that place, what you did that would match that job listing, because you could have done things there that match. Otherwise, list important things that you did at that company. What did you do? Describe what you did, even if it isn't related to where you work. You might be going into welding, but you worked at McDonald's. Well, you learned customer relations, you learned inventory, things like that. Those are still valuable assets. Don't discount your past just because it's not in the career that you're in. Those are very important things. Now, there's different types that are available to use as far as in different resumes. Oops, I lost my mouse here. There we go. So there's timeline, skills, and combinations, and they are just kind of like they said. A timeline lists everything in order from start to finish based on time. Now, this is usually best if your experience is your number one priority. You have experience in the field and you want to highlight that. Okay. Skills is best if you have a lot of skills related to that field, even if you didn't necessarily work in that field. And then the combination is a combination of time and skills. I recommend the combination because it's going to highlight your skills at the top and your education. And that's going to be pretty much what everybody here is going to have because it's going to show both in a great format. Now, this is something that is really important, how you save your document, okay? Now, you need to have a master document. This is going to be the one you do not change. You keep this one safe and secure, okay? So name it appropriately so you know you don't save it. Then that's going to be the one you make your copies of, okay? Everybody got that one. You keep a master copy and then you make copies that you modify for each employer, okay? Okay, now, when you go to send one to an employer, you do save as, okay? And you save it as a PDF. The reason why you save it as a PDF is it's going to keep all the formatting intact the way you want it, and it protects it, okay? And that way, when they get it, they see it exactly the way you want it, and it makes modification more difficult. Sometimes when you send in a PDF or you send in your resume, somebody else will see it before the person you want to gets it. That person may have a grudge against you that you don't know about, or they may want somebody else to get the job. You don't want them to mess with your resume. All right. There's some shady characters out there. PDFs make that more difficult. Okay. So that's why you send the PDF, not a Word document. Okay. You make all your changes on the Word document and then do a save as PDF. Everybody got that? Send PDFs, not the Word document. Very, very important. Now, how many people upload their resumes to online job applications? You upload them, right? Everybody upload them to Monster or Indeed, etc. When you are planning to upload, you do a save as plain text. This is an option. It's called plain text. Save that format before you upload your resume to Indeed, etc. And there's a reason for it. Because when you save it as a plain text and you upload it to Indeed, it's going to fill out 90% of that application for you. Everybody got that? It's going to read that plain text document and it's going to fill out 90% of that application for you. It's going to pull out your education. It's going to pull out your jobs. It's going to pull out your skills. It's going to sort it all out. You're just going to have to do some touch-ups if you upload the plain text. So there's a reason for doing these in different formats. So saving you time there. Now, there's a couple of non-traditional resumes. I'm just going to briefly mention those. Those are either web-based or visual. Those are usually for more creative types, people who are going into marketing or art-based formats. If you really want to know more about those, message me and I will go over those. Otherwise, I'm not going to spend much time on those because they typically do not apply to our careers. So before you send out a resume, proofread it, spell check, and read each line to make sure it makes sense. Okay? And make sure it looks right. Check your formatting. Make sure it looks right. And it says use a checklist. This is kind of your checklist right there. Okay? Professional references. Okay, these are not just your personal references. These are people who know you from your work. So make sure you're not just putting your friends on here. They need to know your work as well, and they need to know you're putting them on the professional reference list. And this is what a professional reference looks like. Notice right here, people get this wrong all the time on the midterm. Your name is on the top of your professional reference list. And you'll see everybody listed there, and you will see their name, where they work, their phone number, and any email connections, etc., on that list. You take this reference list with you to the interview, or you email it when asked for. You don't send it automatically. When they ask for it is when you supply it. Okay? Everybody good? Everybody got that? Everybody see the different things that we've covered? Okay, I hope that clarifies it because these are changes that have happened in resumes all over. The other thing is it used to be resumes could only be black and white. They can have color. Do not make it look like a rainbow puked all over the place. Keep them toned down, attractive, but not, hypersonic in the color scheme. All right. So today I want to know 3 unique different things you learned about resumes today. And I want you to be very specific about what you learned. Okay. And those of you that are out there that like to play the I didn't learn anything, I knew everything. Name 3 things that you already knew about resumes today. So we'll play that game if that's the way you want to be. All right. So 3 different things about resumes today. Everybody good? Everybody got that? And we are all set there. Any questions? All right. Then that is it for our Halloween production, our end of week 1. And you are 1/4 of the way through the course. Next week, you will be halfway through when we get to the end of it. And on Thursday, we will have a guest speaker. Princess Phillips from the Orlando campus will be speaking on Thursday, our midterm day. Now, Monday, when the assignments open, everything opens, including that midterm. So when your assignments open on Monday, everything's available. You can work ahead, but I explain things as we move along. So, but anytime, any week opens, you can work ahead if that works in better for your schedules. All right? So we will see you Monday at 10 a.m. Y'all have a great weekend and let me know if you need anything. All right? Y'all have a good one.